We had one client who was literally raided by the SWAT team at 7 a.m, guns, everything, and there were photos as well. As it turns out, and this sounds incredible, the client was basically a victim of mistaken identity. Someone misunderstood their part numbering scheme, and they'd shipped a product out that was entirely able to be shipped out, no military use, all fine. But because of, I think it was a couple of letters on the part number that people got confused over, it was decided that maybe this was a controlled product. And as it turns out, it wasn't. They were absolutely obeying the law. There were no issues. One of my interesting findings with B2B crises is that all too often, the actual company at the center of it is not at fault. And I think companies sitting there complaining they're not at fault is the worst response to take.
Yeah, agreed.
We had one client who was found back in the days of the Iraq War to be used in Iraqi IED devices, roadside bombs. Their response was as simple as talking to the American State Department and saying, we did not export this. We know we didn't. How many people do you need to help you find out who did it? I can't really give any details, but they literally put people tracking down where these components were sold. They were obviously sold through many middlemen, and they found the person eventually went to jail. I think that's really interesting that the client never got any credit for it. But actually, I think because of their really proactive response, they didn't get a lot of criticism. Now we're seeing American companies having stories about their products being found in Russian missiles. And I think it's another similar issue. The playbook for most of the electronics companies that are doing this is exactly the same. We'll find out who's shipping these products and we'll help you stop it. These companies are not being proactive. If anyone's seen some of these stories, people open up a Russian missile, they find components, they've got logos of American companies. A lot of these parts are made in Russia that are counterfeit and some of them don't work. So that's possibly why the missile hasn't actually hit a target. And then secondly, I can't say hand on heart, I know for sure that nobody is exporting this stuff illegally, but I'm pretty sure that none of our clients are, because I know the extent they go through to really track these products to make sure they don't go. The issue is when people buy parts, they buy too many, maybe they sell them on the grey market. They shouldn't be doing that, but maybe they feel they sell them to a reputable buyer who then sells it on and sells it on. And it actually gets away from being something that's definitely within the law to something prepared to work at the edges of the law in another country with different regulations.